Hello everyone, and welcome to a about 30-minute stretch video for you today. So we are going to start today on our hands and knees. You're going to want to make sure you have something to pad your knees if you need to, and if you have a strap, have that handy. And if you don't have a strap, you can use a rope, a belt, a scarf, anything that you have handy to help facilitate the opening of your body. So let's go ahead and get started today. Just making sure your knees are right underneath your hips. Your hands can be right underneath your shoulders, or if you have some wrist issues, go ahead and move your arms out just a little bit. And let's just start with our cat and cow, rounding our back and arching our back. And just working to stick your tailbone up in the air and rounding here and arching. Round and arch. And then we're going to go ahead and do something a little different today. We're just going to round up on our right side only and drop back down. Stick your tailbone up, look forward, and then round up on your right side. So you're looking a little bit underneath your right armpit, and then come back down. Look up, look forward, round, look up underneath your right armpit, and come down and look forward. Once more, round and look up underneath your right armpit. Bring yourself to neutral, tailbone up, and then look forward, coming through, and then opposite direction. Look underneath your left armpit as you arch through the left side of your back. Look forward, round up, look underneath your armpit, and back to center, and look up and look forward. Oh, we've got a lot going on in the neighborhood today. Planes flying over, construction around your back. Arch up, arch up, arch up, arch up. And back to center. Let's do one more. We're still on the left side. Still on the left side. Rounding up, looking underneath your left armpit. And now bring yourself to neutral. Let's take child's pose with knees wide, feet together. Pushing yourself back, stretching out, lengthening. So really here, extend out through your arms, spread your fingers, and draw your sit bones back. Let your head drop down towards the earth. Just really finding some nice length here and opening through your sideways. Keep drawing your sit bones back. So let this be a little bit active today here. And now let's passively drop head to the earth. Drop your arms. If you need to support your head, support your head. And just let there be a little relaxation here, and just take a few deep breaths. Just a few. And let's go ahead and now walk our hands to the right. So one thing when we do this, we really want to make sure that we're lengthening out of our side waist and not going into a side bend. So really reach towards the right corner of your mat. Keep drawing your sit bones back. Let's take this into a little bit of energy, stretching, lengthening. And now let's just go ahead and flop and drop our arms down, drop our heads down, and just drop into the stretch through your back. And just remember, anytime we force when we're stretching, we're creating more tension. So we want to stretch and move and lengthen, but we also want to release so that we are not, causing our muscles to constrict and contract even more. Let's walk our hands around to the left and reach out. So again, lengthen. It's not a side bend, it's a lengthening. Extend out through your arms, energy here, really creating some space. Reach your fingers just a little bit more, and then now drop down. Just let your head drop to the earth. Let your head drop to the earth. You have nowhere else to be. It's stretch time. Always good to do this after a walk or after a strength training workout. I used to do this class after a spinning class. So anytime that you've really intensified your workout, let's go ahead, come back up to hands and knees. Bring your shoulders over your ears or walk your hands out. Let's take our right foot behind you and just push back through your right heel. Through your right heel. Let's come on up and let's switch sides. Here we go. Push out through your left heel. Push out. Back to center. Once more, push out through your right leg. Pressing out, lengthening. Back into center. Let's switch sides. Push out through your extended leg. Come back to center. Let's take child's pose with our knees together now. So a little more passivity. Come down to your forearms. Just let your head drop. Some of you may be able to get your head to the floor. If it's more comfortable for you, wrap your hands back towards your heels and just grabbing your heels as you let your head drop. So just a little bit different stretch here through your back, through your spine. And just allow there to be a release here. Now let's bring ourselves up and slide all the way forward onto our abdomen. So we're going to move into a quad stretch. So for those of you that will need a strap to grab your foot for our quadricep stretch, have that handy at this time. Take your forearms, cross them in front, and just rest your forehead on your forearms for just a moment. Lengthen out, lift one leg up, reach back far behind you. Take your opposite leg, lift it up, reach back far behind you. And now let's go ahead and grab our right foot. Reach, reach, reach. So as we grab our right foot, some of you may want to use a strap and bring your forehead back down to the ground. Lengthening through the crown of your head. Let there be a little lift through the front side of your abdomen. So your pelvis, you should feel both points of the top of your pelvis right on the ground. And let's go ahead and release. And we'll switch sides, reaching back for your left foot. And again, strapping your foot if you feel that's necessary. Let your head drop back down. Let there be a lift through your abdomen. Lengthen through the crown of your head. let's release this side. Let's come up onto our forearms and just pull your shoulders away from your ears and think about pulling your chest forward. If you could just slide and drag yourself forward, just like a little gecko or a little lizard. Really just lengthen here. Oh, release yourself down. Elbows go wide. Back to our quad stretch. Back to your right leg. Reach back, grab your foot. Square your shoulders and lift your chest. And just a slight little lift of your chest. Keep your pelvis down on the ground. Lengthening. Keep holding here. Back of your neck is long. And let's release. Switch sides. Reach back, grab your foot. Lift your chest. Lengthen. Collarbones wide. Back of your neck long. Release. Push yourself back into child's pose. You can take whichever version. Knees together or knees wide. And now let's go ahead and bring ourselves up onto our backs. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. We're going to grab our strap. So if you have a loop in your strap, that's great. If not, you can put a loop in there. Strap your right foot, take it straight up in the air. Press out, extended leg. Now, if your back bothers you, keep your left leg bent. Otherwise, extend it out on the ground so both legs are getting a nice little strap here. Lower your top leg away from you and now gently pull your leg in the direction of your head, working to keep your leg straight. So if you start to bend your knee, go back to that point where you just bend your knee. We want to have our legs straight to get this nice opening through our hamstrings. So again, I can't emphasize enough to not force, to release any tension within your body. You know, our body has these great protective mechanisms within our muscles that when we go to the point of overstretching, these points cause us to contract and to not stretch because we don't want to hurt ourselves. So we have to be mindful about how we go into our stretches. And today we're just doing static stretches. Just nice holds. Legs, left leg up in the air. Right leg can be bent with your foot on the floor or with your leg extended out, pushing out through your heels. And again, start to bring your top leg in the direction of your head, but just being mindful about what's going on in your knee joint. Can you keep your legs straight? Can you soften your grip? Where are you holding tension? Can you smile? Big smiles. Life's too short to force anything. Allow your body just to open up where it is, as it is. Let's go ahead and release this. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Take your right leg up in the air. Come down into external rotation and then just gently push your right thigh away from you. So we're not forcing here as we push away. Feet are nice and flexed. And just allow your breath rhythm to flow. Let's go ahead and stretch. Release, release, release. Left leg up to the ceiling. Come down to the opposite side and gently push your thigh away. Gently push your thigh away. Allow your collarbones to just spread nice and wide here. And let's go ahead and release. Take your right leg up in the air. Come down to your opposite knee. And let's draw our knee into our chest. So you can do thread the needle. I like to actually hold my same side foot, my right foot and my right knee. You can do whatever version works for you today. If you feel like thread the needle's really where you want to go, then go for that. Nobody's watching. It's just you watching me in your living room. What works for you? And release. Bring your foot down. And let's go ahead and switch sides. And draw your knees in. Keep your foot nice and flexed. So again, you can do thread the needle on this side. Just make sure however you stretched on the first side, you're stretching the same way on this side. And let's release. Let's go back, right leg up in the air. Come down to your opposite knee. Draw inward, and then we're going to migrate our legs a little bit to the left. Keep drawing in at the same time. Relax your jaws. Relax your neck. Allow there to be a little softening through your right hip. Work to draw your knees in just a little more. And release back to center, feet down. Left leg straight up to the ceiling. Come down into external rotation, bringing your opposite ankle to your knee and draw inward. This time we're going to migrate our legs just a little bit to the right. So we're going to start to feel this in our left hip, our left glutes. Keep drawing your knees into your chest. Let's release. Bring your feet down. Take your right knee over your left knee. So now we're knee to knee. If this is an issue with your knees or your hips, go back to right ankle on your knee. Arms out into your T as best you can, or a cactus, and just start to rock your knees from side to side. Doesn't matter which way you go first. Just back and forth, side to side, rocking. You may even want to pause as we're rocking. You may have like one area you get over there and you go, oh, I need a little pause here a second. We are going to hold it here in just a moment, but just rock back and forth. And try not to be in a hurry. Slow it down. It's not about how fast we do these movements. It's not speed demon stretching, everybody. Nice, slow movements. Next time we drop our knees to the left, go ahead and drop your knees down and then turn. Look over your right shoulder. Work to keep your right shoulder down on the ground. It's not about how far your knees go towards the floor. And just let there be this moving of your whole right upper chest, upper shoulder girdle back into the earth. You can even turn your head and look over your right shoulder if that's accessible for you. Otherwise, just look straight up at the ceiling and come back to center. Keep your knees crossed. Keep them crossed. Let's drop our knees over to the left. To the right, and look over your left shoulder. And really allow your hips to lift, your back to arch slightly, and work to bring your left shoulder down to the ground. Allow your collarbones to spread wide here. Let this whole upper chest area be a little heavy so that we get this rotation through our torso. Couple more here, couple more breaths. And then bring yourself up to center. Unravel your legs, and let's go ahead and take our left leg over our right. So again, if this is an issue for knees or hips, go ankle to knee. So left leg's on top now, and just begin to rock back and forth. Doesn't matter which way you go, just rocking back and forth. Back and forth. Let your collarbones spread wide across your chest so it becomes this little full body stretch, full body opening. Come on up. Let's go ahead. Let's drop our knees over to the right first. Drop them to the right. Look over your left shoulder. Let your left shoulder be nice and heavy. Notice if your left arm is going way up at an angle. Bring it down so that it's coming out right into a T off of your arms, off your chest. So if you were holding your arms, if you can be in a T. If not, bring them into the cactus position, depending on how much room you have. And just anchor through. Allow your hips to move to the right. And now bring yourself back onto your back. Let's go ahead and keep your knees crossed. The left leg's on top. Drop over to the left. Turn, look over your right shoulder. Just allow your collarbones to spread really nice and wide, keeping your shoulders tucked under, gazing out over your extended fingers. Lengthening here. And let's go ahead and come on up. Release. Let's take a nice full body stretch. So extend your legs out. Take your arms overhead. Just stretch everything out here. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Keep lengthening. Keep pushing out through your heels. Press your lower ribs down. And let's flop like a rag doll. Just drop into the earth. Drop in. Here we go. Zip your legs together. Reach out, lengthen, expand, stretch, spread your toes, spread your palms. Lengthen, 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 and flop. Okay, drop both knees into your chest and either roll to your side or rock yourself up to seated. We're going to sit into a cross-legged position. So if you need to prop yourself up, go ahead and sit up on a block or a towel, a blanket, a cushion. And then just take your arms and just straighten them here and lift your chest. And we're going to do a little more here, pulling our chest through, lengthening up through your sideways. And just take your gaze upward for a moment, just for a moment. Try not to throw your head all the way back. Just gaze up at the angle towards the ceiling, where the ceiling and the wall come together if you have that view, and bring your chin down. Let's twist to the right, hold, roll your right shoulder back, lengthen up through the crown of your head, and start to take your eyes back. Unravel, come back to center. And let's twist to the left, lengthening up, rolling your shoulders back, taking your eyes back, really growing taller, creating space in your spine. Back to center. Stay grounded into your hips, and let's go ahead and walk our hands out. So we're lengthening here. So we want to lengthen first and then drop down into our fold. Forearms may or may not reach the ground. Sometimes I like to bring my forearms right back towards my shins when I do this stretch. So if that works for you, let me go sideways. So you could see you're either going to be extended straight out, or you can bring your forearms to the floor with your palms down, just letting your back release. Remember, this is not about forcing. It's not about getting our head to the floor. You know, if your body does that, that's fine. My body doesn't do that. I can't get to the floor. So you have to be where you are. And let's round and come on up. And you're going to walk your hands, staying with your legs in the same position. Lengthen, turn your navel towards your right thigh, and then walk your hands out here. And just tense your fingers. Reach out through your left side waist, letting your head drop. Drop, 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 drop your head. Draw your navel in, rise up over your extended leg. Let's go ahead and switch. Turn your navel towards your left leg and walk your hands out. Lengthening now through your right fingertips. And again, in this forward bend, we're not forcing. We're just letting our back release. We're allowing ourselves to just drop here. Drop into the stretch, drop into the lengthening. And walk your hands back, draw your navel in, stack your spine. Time to change the cross of your legs. We have a habit, so let's switch sides. Let's go ahead, we'll twist to the right once again. Roll your shoulders back, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Use your left hand as a little bit of leverage to help facilitate you moving into this twist just a little more. Just a little more. Really lengthen up through the crown of your head. Lift your chest up towards the sky. Come back to center. Let's go ahead and switch to the opposite side, lengthening up, using your right hand now as leverage. Roll, turn, look over your opposite shoulder. Really create some space here in your spine. Unravel, come back to center. We're going to fold forward once again. Walk your fingers out and then drop your head down. So again, no forcing here. You can walk your forearms back if that's accessible for you, or keep your arms extended. Just letting your head drop, allowing your back to release. Sometimes we do these forward bends and we just get so caught up in dropping to the floor. Remember, it's just a release in your spine. When we stretch, we shouldn't create any pain in our body. We stretch to feel good. We stretch to release. And round, walk your hands back, stack your spine. And let's start by going to the left first. Revolve your navel towards your thigh. Fold over and walk your fingers out. And drop your head down. And just try and lengthen through the crown of your head. Lengthen your crown of your head out towards your fingertips. Notice, can you relax your shoulders? Did you tense your jaw? Soften, 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 soften. And then walk your hands back, rise up, revolve your navel towards your extended leg. Right side now, let's go down, go down. Reach out through your left fingers, lengthen through the crown of your head, and just let yourself drop. Release tension in your shoulders. Release tension in your jaw, your back, even your hips. Let your hips soften here. And walk your hands back. Roll your shoulders back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Extend your legs straight out in front of you. Straight out in front of you. Bring your hands back behind you. Lift your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Look up. Push out through your heel. Really try and lift your sternum. So make sure you're not throwing your head all the way back. If you want to keep your gaze forward, keep your gaze forward. And release. Come back to cross-legged. Lengthen your spine 3 times. Let's just inhale up. Exhale back down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Up and down. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to giving you more classes in the future.